There comes a moment in every person's life when chaos knocks at the door. A disrespectful comment, a sudden betrayal, a situation spiraling out of your hands. And in that defining moment, you face a choice. Lose control like everyone else, or hold the line and stay calm. That choice determines whether people walk away remembering you as ordinary or as a winner. Because there's one truth most people never learn: winners stay calm when everyone else loses control. Think about it. Look around in any stressful situation, whether at work, in relationships, or in public. Most people are quick to react. They raise their voices. They snap back. They scramble in panic. They look desperate for control, but in reality, they're giving it away. Emotional outbursts don't show power. They reveal weakness. But the one person in the room who stays composed, who doesn't flinch, who responds instead of reacting, that person owns the room. That person dictates the tone. That person is unforgettable. The difference between losing control and staying calm is the difference between being a pawn and being a king. Pawns are quick to move, but they have no strategy, no endurance. Kings move slowly, deliberately, with purpose. And in life, the ones who win long-term are those who don't get dragged into impulsive battles. They conserve energy, protect their peace, and strike only when it matters. So why do most people lose it? Why do they explode over small things? It's simple: they confuse reaction with strength. They believe that raising their voice means power, that demanding attention proves respect, that angry words restore dignity. But that's a lie. Real power lives in restraint. Real strength is when you can look someone in the eye as they try to provoke you, and you give them nothing. They expect fire, but you stay unshaken. They wanted drama, but they get silence. That silence is deafening. That silence is dominance. Here's the contrast. Weak people are owned by their emotions. Strong people own their emotions. Weak people are buttons waiting to be pushed. Strong people can absorb pressure without breaking. And people always respect the strong, even if they never admit it. The truth is, calmness intimidates those driven by chaos. When you stay calm, you take away their weapon. When you stay calm, you remind the world that your peace is not for sale. Think of the greatest leaders in history. Think of the coaches, the warriors, the innovators, the legends. They weren't remembered for panicking when things got hard. They weren't remembered for shouting the loudest in chaos. They were remembered for holding steady when everything around them was on fire. Crisis doesn't define them, it reveals them. And that's exactly why winners stand apart. Picture this. You're in a high-stakes meeting. Tension rises, voices grow, accusations fly. Everyone talks over each other, fighting to be heard. The room is noise, anger, and ego. But one person sits silent, breathing, observing, waiting. And when they finally speak, the room quiets. Why? Because calm voices carry more weight than chaotic noise. Winners don't need to fight for attention. They command it through discipline, presence, and calmness. Now let me ask you, how many times have you lost focus because of a small moment of anger? How many days have you thrown away replaying someone else's words? That loss isn't about what they said. It's about you handing them control. Winners refuse to hand over that kind of control. They value their energy too highly. They guard their peace like treasure. They know that once you lose control, you've already lost twice, once to your emotions, and again to the person who manipulated them. Calm isn't weakness. Calm is clarity. The calm person sees options that the panicked person never sees. When anger clouds your vision, mistakes multiply. When fear controls your decisions, failure grows. But calmness clears the smoke, sharpens your focus, and reveals the real path forward. Chaos may scream louder, but calm always wins. This doesn't mean you'll never feel anger, sadness, or frustration. Winners feel deeply, but they refuse to let feelings dictate their moves. Winners master the pause. In that pause lies wisdom. In that pause lies growth. In that pause lies power. Because the pause is where you decide, do I give away my energy, or do I keep it where it belongs? Most people underestimate how much staying calm shapes how the world sees you. In every room, people are watching, not just what you say, but how you react. The one who loses control easily, nobody trusts them with big responsibility. They're unpredictable. But the one who carries calm under pressure, everyone looks to them when the storm hits. Because calm people are anchors in chaos. And anchors are rare. To be that kind of anchor requires discipline. It means training yourself to breathe before speaking, to think before acting, to observe before reacting. It means valuing your peace over your pride. Pride says, clap back, get even. Show them they can't win. Peace says, walk away. Protect your mind. Keep building. One destroys your reputation. The other builds your legacy. Ask yourself, 10 years from now, what will you remember more, the argument you won, or the peace you chose that kept your future intact? Winners play the long game, and the long game demands calmness. This isn't just about how others see you. This is about how you see yourself. Every time you stay calm instead of losing control, you build self-respect. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than your impulses, and that builds confidence. Confidence that cannot be bought, borrowed, or stolen. Confidence born from discipline. And that's the kind of confidence people never forget. The truth is, the world is addicted to noise. Social media thrives on reactions. Everyday life thrives on provocation. Everyone is chasing outrage. Everyone wants to see you crack. But imagine what happens when you refuse. Imagine how powerful it feels to stay still while the storm rages. Winners don't just survive the storm, they outlast it. The storm drains everyone else. But the calm one walks out stronger. So when life tests you, and it will, remember this. They only win if you break. They only own you if your emotions own you. Winners know their emotions are tools, not dictators. Winners know calm presence will be remembered long after angry words are forgotten. Winners know that when everyone else loses themselves, they find themselves. Anyone can panic. Anyone can shout. Anyone can slam doors. That's easy. But to stay calm, to remain grounded, composed, deliberate, that's rare. And rare is valuable. In a world full of noise, the calm person stands out. The calm person leads. The calm person wins. Do this once, just once, and people will see you differently. Do it consistently, and they will never forget you. That's why winners stay calm when everyone else loses control. Because calmness isn't just a mindset. It is your shield, your armor, your crown. Winners stay calm not because life is easier for them, but because they've decided that their mind will not be rented out to chaos. Storms hit everyone. Insults come to everyone. Pressure weighs on everyone. The difference is what you do with it. Average people let life dictate their mood. Winners dictate their mood to life. Think about how much energy is wasted on anger alone. How many people explode, rant, argue, or fight, and at the end, nothing changes except their peace is gone. Chaos feeds on your reaction. The moment you respond out of impulse, you fuel the very fire trying to consume you. But the fire dies quickly when it starves. Silence starves it. Composure suffocates it. That's why calm people always look stronger. They know that the real battlefield isn't out there. It's inside. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. If someone can make you lose control, they own you. Not because they're more powerful, but because they tricked you into handing over your peace. Winners refuse that transaction. They guard their emotions like a vault. They are careful with their words, protective of their focus, disciplined with their time. And people notice, without announcing it, without flexing it. The calm person instantly commands a different kind of respect. Think about the last time you saw someone lose their temper in public. Maybe yelling at a cashier, maybe screaming in traffic. Did they look strong? Or did they look weak, even foolish? Now think about the last time you saw someone stay calm under immense pressure. You probably admired them. You probably remembered them. Calmness creates credibility, and credibility makes you unforgettable. The contrast is simple. Losers look for reaction. Winners look for results. Losers chase attention. Winners build presence. Losers waste words to prove a point. Winners let actions, patience, and results prove everything. That's why winners don't just finish the race, they finish the race with their dignity intact. Understand this. Calm is strategy. It gives you room to think 3 moves ahead while everyone else is blinded by emotion. It makes you unpredictable. And unpredictability is power. If people always know what will trigger you, you are easy to manipulate. But when they cannot predict you, when they cannot read you, they tread lightly, unsure what comes next. The unknown makes them cautious, and their caution gives you an edge. Pause and ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to be remembered as? The one who flared up and lost focus in the heat of the moment? Or the one who held steady when everyone else melted down? One is forgotten as soon as the chaos ends. The other is remembered for life. Calmness is not pretending you don't feel. It's mastering what you do with what you feel. Winners acknowledge the heat rising inside, but they control the flame instead of burning their own house down. Losers let the fire rage and destroy them. Winners harness it. They turn anger into focus. They turn fear into preparation. They turn stress into fuel. That's the difference between being remembered for a mistake or remembered for mastery. And here's the best part. Calmness is trainable, like a muscle. Every time you pause instead of reacting, you strengthen it. Every time you breathe instead of snapping, you build it. Every time you walk away instead of escalating, you reinforce it. Over time, situations that used to shake you become powerless. Insults that used to cut you become background noise. You realize nothing outside of you is stronger than what's inside of you. This is why winners live free. Free from being manipulated, free from being predictable, free from living like puppets pulled by anyone's strings. Calmness isn't passive, it's the highest form of control. It is a declaration to the world. I decide how I feel. I decide how I respond. I decide who I am. So when the crowd panics, breathe. When they attack, observe. When they bait you, smile. When everything shakes, stay still. Because the one who doesn't flinch is the one everyone will remember. The one who doesn't break is the one who always wins. Winners stay calm for one reason: they already know chaos can't define them. The world may lose its head, but they keep theirs. And in keeping it, they gain everything: power, respect, peace, and the ability to keep building while others are burning. So from this day forward, carry yourself differently. Protect your peace. Guard your energy. Train your calm like it's your crown. Because when the storm hits and everyone else loses control, you'll be the one standing tall, untouchable, unshaken, unforgettable. That is why winners stay calm when everyone else loses control.